On this section, we are going to work with the scores screen. This is the last section about this application. We have been working on this application more than 20 lessons, so it's time to move on and do the next application. But before, we are just going to show the points that the user has scored, and for that we are going to use shared preference, which is a mechanism that Android uses to store some information. That information is going to persist on the mobile unless you uninstall the application or you remove all the data of the application from settings. This application will stay in the mobile even if you restart the device. And we are just going to store the information in a string text, and we are just going to display it separate by lines. So at the end we will see a screen like this, which is just a scroll view, which a text view, and the text view will have a string with different lines on it. Okay, so let's start working on the basics. We need a new activity, which is a scores activity. And from the main activity, we need to navigate to this activity when we click on scores. So scores needs one onClick method, which is going to be called open scores screen. Open scores. Okay, so now in the main activity we need to define this method. Remember that every onClick has a view mandatory as input. Okay, so this is going to open the scores activity. You know how this button works, they just open activities. In this case, scores activity. And this is going to launch our new activity. Our new activity is going to have a scroll view and then a text view. So let's create a scroll view. It's going to take all the screen. And then inside the scroll view, we are going to have our text view. We can reuse this one. Okay, so now we have a scroll view with a text view. This text view is going to have one ID, which is going to be text view scores. Let's see. Here we have the score activity. If the text is more long than the screen, is longer than the screen, then we will be able to scroll here. Okay, so what do we need to do next? When the user finishes the game, we need to store these points on the shared preference. Remember that the scroll view is a view that allows us to scroll on the screen only when the view that it has inside is bigger than the bigger of the screen. We could test this with an example. So if I have here like a very long text, I am going to do this. Every time that I write this is a end of line. So Android, when it's going to print this, is going to print this as an end of line. So I'm going to add here a lot of end of lines, and at the end I'm going to write some letters. So this will look like a lot of space, and at the end BBB. So this is what we are going to see. This is just to test the scroll view and show to you how it works. Okay, we go to score. Now we have this. As you can see, I can scroll the screen. So that's a scroll view. We have vertical scroll view and horizontal scroll views in Android.